You ever notice how eating out isn't just about eating anymore? It's not about food, it's about the performance. They hand you a menu like it's the Declaration of Independence. Big, heavy laminated, maybe even leather-bound if they're really proud of themselves. And you open it up and think, wow, somebody put more effort into this menu than my school textbooks. And the funny part is, it's all food you've seen before. Just rearranged, reworded, and dressed up in a tuxedo. That's all menus are. Food in disguise, they don't say a fry. No, that would be too easy. Now it's a crispy golden potato batons. Potato batons. What, are we supposed to have a sword fight at the table? And if they don't call them batons, they're a frites. Oh yeah, gotta get fancy. Would you like some Palms frites? I don't know, pal. Are you asking if I want French fries? Because that's what they are. You can slap a beret on a potato, but at the end of the day, it's still fries. And salads. Oh, you can't just say salad. No, it's gotta be a baby field greens. First of all, why are we eating babies? Baby spinach? Baby arugula. How small do these plants have to be before we can eat them? What's next? Embryonic lettuce. Am I the only one who notices this? We're devouring infants of the plant world and calling it healthy. And they always throw in something you didn't ask for, like a candied pecans or goat cheese crumbles. I didn't come here to eat farm animals' side projects. Goat cheese crumbles. The goat didn't even want that part. And now I'm supposed to pay $12 for it. Menus have turned into a thesaurus for food. They'll never say a chicken. It's a free-range, hormone-free organic chicken breast, lightly dusted with artisanal spices. Artisanal spices? What does that mean? That some guy with a beard grew oregano in his backyard? Just give me chicken. If I wanted a novel, I'd go to the library. You read half these descriptions and you forget what you were trying to order in the first place. East-seared, pan-roasted, oven-finished, farm-to-table, chef-inspired, Mediterranean influence. And by the time you're halfway through that, you're hungry again. And don't you love when they describe water? Water! They bring you the water menu. Would you like still, sparkling, mineral, or artesian water? That's just water that took the scenic route, and sparkling water. Who asked for water that fights back? You take a sip, and it stings you on the way down. That's not refreshing, that's punishment. And bread. They don't just give you bread anymore. No, they bring you a basket of assorted artisanal loaves served with whipped European butter. Whipped butter. What happened to regular butter? They beat the hell out of it and charge you more. And the bread's always fancy too. Olive bread, sun-dried tomato focaccia, multigrain sourdough. You know what bread I want? Bread that tastes like bread. Just bread. White bread, wheat bread, whatever bread. You know what's never in that basket? Garlic bread. Because that's the one people actually want. No, garlic bread stays in the back, locked away like contraband. Ever notice how they describe portion sizes too? They'll say things like a generous portion. Generous? What's generous about it? I'm paying for it. It's not charity. I don't need the chef to feel generous. Our chef has crafted a generous portion. Oh, really? What a saint. You know what a generous portion is. A buffet. You want to be generous? Let me serve myself until I collapse. That's generosity. And they use words like a drizzled. Everything is drizzled. A drizzled with balsamic reduction. Why is everything being drizzled? Nobody's drizzling at home. When's the last time you drizzled anything on your food? Hey honey, can you drizzle some ketchup on my fries? No. You squirt it, you pour it, you glob it on. But drizzle restaurant word. And the desserts? Oh, the desserts. They don't just have cake. No, it's a decadent flourless chocolate torte infused with espresso essence and topped with a whisper of vanilla cream. A whisper of vanilla cream. If it's whispering, I can't hear it. I don't want my food to whisper, I want it to scream. And flourless cake, who came up with that? You know what flourless cake is? A candy bar, that's all it is. Half the time the menu's so long you need a reading line and a bookmark. Oh, waiter, can I get a highlighter and a dictionary with this? You're sitting there flipping through pages like you're cramming for a test. And then the waiter comes back 5 minutes later. Are you ready to order? Ready to order? I'm still in chapter 3. This thing's longer than the Old Testament. And the waiter knows the whole thing by heart. That's the scary part. You ask them what's good and they launch into a TED Talk. Well, the duck confit is seared to perfection and pairs delightfully with the seasonal root vegetables. And I'm thinking, buddy, I just wanted a cheeseburger. And the wine list. Forget about it. The wine list is longer than the menu. And it comes in its own separate book, like it's the Bible of booze. 100 pages of wine, all with years next to them. 1998, 2002, 2005. What, am I supposed to know which year was the best? I don't even remember what I was doing in 2005. Just give me the stuff that gets me tipsy without needing a second mortgage. And they always swirl it, sniff it, and act like they're conducting science experiments. So yes, I detect hints of oak, blackberry, and regret. You notice dessert menus always use words like indulgent and a sinful chocolate lava cake. Oh, sinful, like I'm going straight to hell for eating it. It's dessert, not a felony. And indulgent, who decided dessert has to come with guilt? Just call it a good chocolate cake, and let me enjoy it without the moral lesson. And when they have a catch of the day, you ever wonder what happens if they don't catch anything? Sorry folks, no fish today. Fisherman's hungover, but no, they always have a catch. You know why? Because the catch of the day is whatever they bought in bulk that morning. Today's catch is tilapia. Yeah, funny, it was tilapia yesterday too. And last week and probably tomorrow. The only thing getting caught here is me paying $20 for a fish stick in a tuxedo. And menus love to tell you where everything comes from. Farm-raised salmon from the pristine waters of the Pacific Northwest. How pristine can the Pacific Northwest be? It's got cruise ships floating through it. And a grass-fed beef from the rolling hills of Nebraska. Rolling hills. The cow doesn't care if the hills are rolling or flat. The cow just wants to eat grass. They make it sound like the cow was on vacation before they turned it into a steak. And then they add a chef's choice. Oh, I love that one, chef's choice. What if I don't trust the chef? What if the chef has bad taste? What if the chef's idea of a good meal is kale soup with beet foam? And foam, don't get me started on foam. Foam is for shaving, not eating. If I see foam on a plate, I'm calling a janitor, not a waiter. And soup. Soup isn't soup anymore. It's a bisco or a velouté. What the hell is velouté? Sounds like a laundry detergent. And now with extra velouté for that fresh, clean taste. It's soup, folks. Hot water with stuff in it, and every menu has that one section called a chef's specials. 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 They're not special. They're just the stuff they bought too much. Look. Eat today's special is chicken parmesan. Oh, really? Special? Funny, I've seen that on every Italian menu since the dawn of time. You know what would be special? Free! Free would be special. And dessert always comes last, but you already know what you want before you even sit down. They could save time by just handing you a brownie on the way in. Nobody's reading the dessert menu. Nobody's ever said, oh, I was going to get cheesecake, but now that I see you've got tiramisu, my entire life has changed. No, you knew before you walked in that you wanted cheesecake. Menu's just a formality. So the menu, this big fancy thing, is really just a comedy routine in disguise. It's all smoke and mirrors, words and gimmicks to make you forget you're paying way too much for food you could have made at home in 15 minutes. But we fall for it every time, don't we? Because we like the illusion. We like pretending dinner is an event. And that's what menus really are, tickets to the show. You ever notice how eating out always ends the same way? Doesn't matter what you ordered, doesn't matter how much fun you had, how many appetizers you stuffed down your throat, or how many fancy napkins you folded onto your lap like you were auditioning for Downton Abbey. It all comes crashing down when that little black book lands on the table. That's the real showstopper. Forget the food, forget the service, forget the music playing in the background you didn't even like. This is the part of the night everyone remembers. The whole meal, you're having a good time. You're laughing, you're drinking, you're dipping bread into olive oil like it's holy water. You're pretending to enjoy kale salad because you think it cancels out the cheesecake you're already planning to order. And then boom, the waiter slides the check over like he's handing you your own autopsy report. Suddenly the fun dies, people go silent, smiles fade. You can almost hear funeral music playing. And isn't it funny how they don't just hand you the bill like a normal piece of paper? Oh no, it has to come in that little black folder, that leather-looking sleeve like it's a state secret. What are we hiding here? The truth, that's what. They dress it up to soften the blow, but you know what's in there. Numbers that are bigger than they should be. It's like they're ashamed of it. Here's your total, but don't look too quick. Let it sink in slowly. And then they walk away, disappear into the shadows, because they don't want to be there when you open it. And you open that thing with fear, like you're disarming a bomb. You peel it open carefully, peek inside, and you're already sweating. And what do you see? Numbers that don't make sense. You ordered a cheeseburger and a soda, and suddenly you're looking at the national debt. $52.37. For what? Did you guys slaughter the cow in front of me? Did the soda come from a glacier? Where is this money going? They nickel and dime you for everything. You ever notice that? You don't just pay for the food. No, you're paying for extras. Bread. Bread? They bring a basket of bread to the table. You think it's free. Oh, how generous. Then you see it on the bill, bread service, $4.95. Bread service? What service? They dropped off a basket. It's bread, not a Broadway show, and water. Remember when water used to be free? Not anymore. Now you've got a spring water, a sparkling water, a mineral water. And they charge you like they bottled it from the tears of angels. And don't you love the market price scam? Oh, that's a good one. Market price. You see it on the menu, lobster, market price. What's the market? Who's running this market? Is there a lobster stock exchange somewhere with guys yelling, buy, seller? And you never know the price until the bill comes. That's when you realize your lobster tail just costs the same as a used car payment. And appetizers, they add up. You think you're being smart, splitting a few things with the table. Let's just get some nachos, some wings, maybe some calamari. Then you see the bill and realize you just financed the restaurant's next renovation. $10 here, $12 there, $14 for fried squid. Fried squid. If you called it what it is, no one would pay. But dress it up as a calamari, suddenly it's fine dining. And the drinks, oh, that's where they really get you. You order a soda, just a soda. At home, soda's cheap. You can buy a whole 2-liter bottle for $1. In a restaurant, one glass is $3.95. And it's all ice. They fill the whole cup with ice, splash a little Coke on top, and charge you the price of a gallon of gas. And if you order alcohol, forget it. Beer that costs $1 at the store is $7 at the restaurant. Wine is worse. They pour you half a glass and charge you the price of the whole bottle. And then you get the hidden charges. Oh, they're sneaky. Service fee, surcharge. Kitchen appreciation fee. What the hell is a kitchen appreciation fee? If I wanted to appreciate the kitchen, I'd go back there and give the cook a hug. But no, you're just tacking on $5 because you thought a bill padding didn't sound professional. And let's talk about taxes. You get the subtotal, you think you're safe, then bam, sales tax. Depending on where you are, that's like a whole extra meal. You're already paying too much for the food, now you're paying the government to look the other way. And then comes the big finale. The tip. Ah yes, the tip. The most awkward part of any meal. At home, you don't tip yourself for cooking. You don't eat a sandwich and then slip $1 into your own pocket. But at restaurants, it's mandatory generosity. And you never know how much is enough. 10% used to be fine, then it was 15, then 20. Now if you leave less than 20, you're a criminal. And the waiter's always standing nearby pretending not to look, but you know they're watching. They hover like a teacher grading a test. And if you don't give enough, suddenly the fake friendliness disappears. That smile turns into a get out of my restaurant. And you ever notice how they calculate the tip for you now? On the bill, at the bottom, they give you suggested tip amounts. 15%, 18%, 20%. Like you can't do math. And it's always calculated on the total after tax. Oh, sneaky. So now you're tipping the government too? Why don't I just go down to City Hall and hand out cash? And splitting the bill. Oh, that's another nightmare. At home, there's no splitting. One person cooks, everyone eats done. In a restaurant, splitting the bill is like solving a math equation on the SAT. Okay, you had the chicken. I had the steak, you ordered the appetizer, but we all shared it. And you had 2 drinks. I only had 1. Suddenly, the table turns into a finance department. People are pulling out calculators, phones, abacuses, and there's always one guy who tries to shortchange. Oh, I don't know, 20. The margarita alone was 12, Steve, pay up, and then there's the credit card shuffle. Everyone throws in their card, the waiter comes back with 10 little slips, and now you're signing like you're closing on a house. And heaven forbid one person pays with cash. That throws the whole system into chaos. Okay, we've got 40 in cash, so subtract that from the total, divide the rest by 3 cards. And the waiter's just standing there thinking they could have served another table by now. And here's the thing, you know the bill's too high, but you pay it anyway. Why? Because you've been hypnotized. The lighting, the music, the fancy menu, the waiter's fake smile, it's all part of the con. They distract you with atmosphere while they empty your wallet. It's like a magic trick. Watch closely, folks. The money disappears and all you're left with is indigestion. And then, just to rub it in, they print a little message at the bottom. A thank you for dining with us. Thank you? You just robbed me blind and you're thanking me? How about you thank me with a coupon for next time? Or better yet, don't charge me $8 for breadsticks. But we keep doing it, don't we? We keep going out, keep ordering, keep paying, keep tipping, keep getting blindsided by that little black folder. Because deep down, we don't go to restaurants for the food. We go for the ritual, the illusion, the feeling of being part of something special. And the bill? The bill is just the price of admission. And that's when you realize the most expensive thing on the menu is the experience. You ever notice how restaurants have more rules than a courtroom? At home, you sit at the table, throw down a plate, maybe a paper towel if you're feeling fancy, and you eat. That's it. But the moment you step into a restaurant, suddenly you're expected to follow an entire book of etiquette that you never agreed to. It's like crossing a border into a different country. New laws, new customs, new ways of holding silverware. First, there's the greeting. At home, nobody greets you when you sit down to eat. You don't walk into your own kitchen and hear, "Hello, how many in your party this evening?" It's just you, a bowl of cereal, and your pajamas. But in a restaurant, they've got a whole system. A table for 2? How do they know? Did they guess? Do I look like a 2-person table kind of guy? And if you say no, table for 3, they act like you just disrupted the universe. Oh, well, let me check. You're a restaurant, not NASA. You can't just put a chair somewhere and then they lead you to the table. Like you couldn't find it on your own. It's 20 feet away, pal. I can see it from here. But no, you gotta follow them like it's a guided tour. And they always carry the menus like they're holy scriptures. They stop at the tables, spread out the menus like they're dealing cards, and say, "Here you are." Here I am? I know where I am. I was here the whole time. Then you sit down and the ritual begins. First thing, the napkin, optional. Sometimes it's a paper towel. Sometimes it's the back of your hand. Sometimes it's nothing. But in a restaurant, oh no, you gotta put it on your lap. Always on the lap. Why? Who decided the lap was the sacred spot for napkin? I don't eat with my lap. Nothing's happening down there. But no, if you don't put it on your lap, the waiter comes by and gently reminds you, "Sir, your napkin." Oh, thank you. I almost forgot I'm dining in a church. And the silverware. At home, you've got maybe a fork, a knife, and a spoon. That's it. 3 tools just like a caveman. But in a restaurant, you've got an arsenal. Salad fork, dinner fork, dessert fork, soup spoon, teaspoon, butter knife, steak knife, fish knife. There's something that looks like a medieval weapon. And you're expected to know which one to use for which course. It's a test disguised as a meal. You pick the wrong fork and suddenly you're a barbarian. Oh, he used the salad fork for the entree. How dreadful. Meanwhile, the food tastes the same no matter which one you use. You could eat steak with a spoon if you really wanted to. And then the waiter introduces themselves. Always with the same line. "Hi, my name's Brad and I'll be taking care of you tonight." Taking care of me? What are you, my nurse? I didn't come here for medical attention. You're not taking care of me. You're bringing me chicken wings. And the fake enthusiasm. Oh, they always sound so chipper. How are we doing tonight? We're not a team, Brad. I'm eating. You're working. This isn't a joint project. And they always ask, would you like to start with some drinks? What do they think I'm here for? No, I'd like to start with the check and go home. Of course I want drinks. And they always push the specials. Can I tell you about our specials tonight? No, you can't. Then I know your specials aren't special. They're just the leftovers you're trying to get rid of. And you recite them like Shakespeare. And tonight we have a pan-seared salmon with a lemon beurre blanc sauce served on a bed of wild rice. You could have just said, we've got salmon. That's all I needed. Then comes the water ritual. Oh, this one kills me. At home you turn on the tap and fill a glass. Done. In a restaurant, it's a production. They bring you water with ice, without ice, sparkling, still, mineral, bottled, artesian. And the glass is always fancy, like a crystal goblet. They pour it for you like they're uncorking fine wine. Would you like some water? No, I came here to dehydrate. And the bread? Bread at home, you take it out of the bag, throw it on the table. Maybe toast it if you're feeling ambitious, but in a restaurant, bread is a ceremonial act. A basket arrives lined with a little cloth, like the bread's taking a nap. And it's never the bread you actually want. Nobody's ever excited about multigrain with seeds. You want garlic bread, you want rolls, you want something warm and buttery. But no, you get focaccia with olives in it. Who decided olives were bread's best friend? And the butter comes in tiny little dishes whipped into a swirl. Whipped butter! As if regular butter wasn't good enough. Ordering is another ritual. At home, you open the fridge, point, and grab. In a restaurant, you gotta announce your choice like you're giving a speech. I'll have the grilled chicken with mashed potatoes. Then they repeat it back to you. So that's the grilled chicken with mashed potatoes. Yes, Brad, that's exactly what I just said. We're not negotiating peace treaties. I ordered food. Write it down and move along. And don't you love how they always interrupt? You're in the middle of a story, everyone's laughing, and the waiter swoops in. How's everything tasting? Tasting. It's food, not fine art. It tastes like food. And what do they expect you to say? You know, Brad, this chicken has hints of oak and vanilla with a lingering finish. No, you say, it's fine. Because you know if you say anything else, Brad's going to hover and apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me take that back. Let me talk to the chef. Talk to the chef. What's the chef going to do? Reinvent the chicken. And then there's the pacing. At home, you eat as fast or as slow as you want. In a restaurant, it's like running a marathon with water stations. First the appetizer, then a pause, then the salad, then another pause, then the entree, then a pause, then dessert. You can't just eat. You have to go through stages like you're evolving as a species. And heaven forbid you finish your plate too fast. They start looking at you like you're a wild animal. Oh, wow, someone was hungry. No, Brad, someone didn't want lukewarm food. And why do they always ask if you're still working on that? Working on that? I didn't know I was on the clock. It's not a project, it's lasagna. What's with the corporate lingo? Are you still working on that? Yeah, let me just send you a progress report, a status update. Lasagna is 85% complete, estimated time to finish, 3 minutes. And the check. Oh, that's the biggest ritual of all. At home you eat, and it's over. In a restaurant, you have to signal for the bill like you're hailing a taxi. You can't just ask directly. No, you gotta make eye contact, give a little nod, maybe wave your hand, and the waiter disappears for 20 minutes before bringing it. It's before bringing it. And then they put it in that little black folder like it's a top secret document. Why the folder? Are we in the CIA? Just give me the bill. And then the tip? Oh, the tip. The one part where you're expected to do math after 3 glasses of wine. 10%, 15%, 20%. How generous are you supposed to be? And they always hover while you sign it, like they're waiting for a grade. And the strangest ritual of all, the applause at birthdays. At home, you just sing a happy birthday, maybe light a candle, and you're done. In a restaurant, the whole staff comes out clapping, shouting, banging pots and pans, carrying a cake like it's the Olympic torch. And the birthday person sits there, embarrassed out of their mind, pretending to enjoy it. Nobody likes it, but they do it anyway. So restaurants aren't just about food, they're about theater. Rituals, ceremonies, performances, and rules designed to make you feel like you're part of something bigger than a meal. And maybe that's the whole point, to distract you from the fact that you just paid $25 for chicken you could have made at home for $5. Because in the end, the only ritual that really matters is when you finally stand up, pat your stomach and say, well, that was nice.